Swallowed Star. Ganwu Continent, Pinghai Company's 89th level, Su Xian's office. Your Majesty Su Xian, congratulations. From now on, you'll officially be a core member of the Virtual Universe Company. A tall and skinny silver-eyed old man in a simple white robe smiled. You have living quarters in the last phase region of Yuxian Mountain in the Virtual Universe, and also one on the last phase region's secret region. You can choose to actually head over there. Last phase secret area? Where is that? Su Xian asked curiously. Very far. The white-robed old man smiled. The company can arrange for a universe ship to pick you up. You'll have to fly for a few years in the dark universe. Is it close to the absolute beginning region? Su Xian asked. No, the white-robed old man shook his head. The 4 secret regions were born in the vast universe a very, very long time ago. They are very far from each other. The last phase region and the absolute beginning region are in different star sectors. Star sector. Su Xian was disappointed. Star sector was considered the largest denominator within the universe. One star sector was normally the size of an entire universe country. That was an extremely huge territory. If the absolute beginning was close to the last phase region, then Su Xian was actually considering going there. This way, she could meet with her husband in reality. Your Majesty Su Xian, you are a member of the business side. You have to no need to head to the distant last phase region. The white-robed old man smiled. The universe secret region environment is helpful only for warriors. Almost all of the business members stay within their homes. Of course, should you wish to go, we can send a request. No need. Su Xian shook her head. Everything has already been relayed. Your Majesty Su Xian, I'll leave first. The tall and skinny old man bowed and left. Only Su Xian was left in the office. Looking at the documents on the tablet, Su Xian's eyes were filled with excitement. Pa! 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 3 knocks were heard on the door. Enter! Su Xian shouted. Big Sister Su, Big Sister Su. The short-haired lady ran in shouting. Did the entering of the core member request go through? Su Xian was filled with glee, nodding. That's great. The short-haired lady cheered excitedly. Big Sister Su, you've finally succeeded. Alan, thanks for your many years of support. Su Xian was filled with gratitude as she looked at this good sister of hers. The lady who was beside her was a good partner of hers when she started her own business on Earth. These past many years, the two of them were considered a gold combination, and this sister of hers Dong Lan had enjoyed many benefits due to Su Xian too. For example, over these 100 years, Dong Lan's appearance had hardly changed too. Why say such things? Quickly go inform that guy. The short-haired lady teased and smiled. Su Xian took a deep breath. How long has it been? How long has she fought for this day? Request call. Su Xian sent a request to Luo Feng. It was however cut off the moment it was dialed. The request was denied. Su Xian was shocked. This doesn't seem right. There should be about 7 days before he leaves Primal Chaos City. There shouldn't be any important things going on these last days. What's wrong, Big Sister Su? The short-haired lady asked curiously. I can't seem to connect. Su Xian shook her head. Primal Chaos City. Luo Feng walked out from the leader's residence. Many images of the 9-universe tablet floated in his mind, different levels of comprehension were occurring throughout. I have to treasure my time. There are only 2 more days before I leave Primal Chaos City. Luo Feng became a beam of light and headed towards his training quarters. I have a large amount of things to digest from my study of the tablet. Things to make my own. Looking at the origin laws in the sky will help my study. So. 1 day, 2 days. Time to leave. A voice suddenly resounded within Luo Feng's mind. Luo Feng awoke shocked. In the distance he spotted a large outline of a dark blue fish-shaped ship floating in the air above Primal Chaos City, as many silhouettes were rushing towards the sky. Time to go. Luo Feng immediately flew up too. While heading towards the universe ship, Luo Feng looked down at the ancient city shrouded in chaos energy. Teacher. When you go out, it'll be hundreds to thousands more times more dangerous than Primal Chaos City. Be careful, don't throw the face of True Yen. A voice pierced through 10,000 li right into Luo Feng's ears. Luo Feng nodded. After interacting for 20 years with his teacher, their relationship was definitely deep. Silhouettes followed the stomach cabin door of the fish and flew into the ship. Within the resting room of the ship, 816 youths entered in and were chatting comfortably with each other. Luo Feng, you are vicious. And you too, Rong Jun. The Manka Prince Wuka was unsatisfied. The 2 of you, one passed the 5th level and the other the 4th. You've left me far behind, it's too heartbreaking. Since you know the difference, then work harder. Luo Feng patted his shoulder. Wuka was shocked. You do need to work harder. Rong Jun walked over too and patted his shoulder. Damn you 2 punks. Bastards, I'm already this heartbroken and you don't even console me. Wuka snorted back at them. Luo Feng and Rong Jun both laughed. While Luo Feng, Rong Jun and Wuka were teasing and laughing, the others returned to their old cliques, forming groups of 3 to 5 and chatting. However, there were still some loners who didn't interact with others. Rumble. With that, a green armored silhouette entered the large hall. That heart-palpitating aura made everyone go silent, not daring to make a sound. Primal Chaos City's basic training for 30 years has ended. 9-blade knight's gaze swept past the 816 youths before him. All of them immediately looked down, not daring to make eye contact. Your group's death rate was pretty bad. However, in terms of results it's considered very exceptional. Especially Bolan, Luo Feng and Rong Jun. These 3, not bad at all. Immediately there was some movement amongst the group of youths as many of them turned to look at the mentioned 3. Bolan had passed the 6th level. His initial lead was too much, everybody had gone numb to it. Luo Feng passed the 5th level. Rong Jun passed the 4th. Amongst these 3, everybody was already numb to Bolan. Towards Rong Jun, they felt envying that he had a universe country leader as a teacher. Luo Feng turned to look, the white-robed youth Bolan was looking over. The 2 of them made eye contact. Bolan nodded. Luo Feng nodded too. At this time, Luo Feng. In the corner of the group, Long Yun looked at the distant Luo Feng. The distance between us is getting bigger, I'm a primal region member. Experiencing that uncomfortable shift through time again, the universe ship finally arrives in the actual universe. We've already left the primal universe. The green-robed purple-scaled man looked at the group of youths before him. This represents that your training in the safest Primal Chaos City has ended. From now on you will be divided into 4 groups to be sent back to the Primal region, the Absolute Beginning region, the Heaven and Ground region and the Last Phase region. It won't be as safe and secure as Primal Chaos City in the future. I wish you all the best of luck. Hopefully, when the next time I see you all, there's still at least 500 alive. The green-robed purple-scaled man finished. Rumble. The universe ship slowed down and after a while, the cabin door opened. We've arrived at the virtual universe headquarters. Luo Feng flew out and descended. Right, Babata, open connections to the network. Understood. Virtual Universe, Yuxiang Mountain Absolute Beginning Villa 1106. Within the study. There's actually 111 requests from Su Xian. Luo Feng appeared within the study and opened his laptop. This urgent, did something important happen? D. You called so many times, what's so important? Luo Feng asked nervously. It's a very important matter. On the screen, Su Xian replied. What's the matter? Luo Feng asked again. Head to Yuxiang Mountain's common regions when you tower to meet someone. Su Xian said. Yuxiang Mountain's common region. Luo Feng was suspicious. Anybody he meets in Yuxiang Mountain would all have to be at least core members, and the number of core members he knew weren't too many. Which core member would request an audience with him through his wife? There's no such person. Who is it? Luo Feng was filled with questions. Go and you'll know. Su Xian said, hurry, it's very important. Ah. Luo Feng grew even more suspicious. Luo Feng walked through the entrance of the absolute beginning region and became a beam of light heading towards the common region. She actually knows the common region has a 1U tower. And to request to meet me in the common region, just who is this person? Luo Feng thought. Even in the entire Black Dragon Mountain starfield, there aren't too many core members. The more Luo Feng thought, the more suspicious he got. Common region, it was very luxurious. 1U tower. 1U tower. Luo Feng glanced at the distant 9-level Black Tower's name. This tower was surrounded by many rare types of plants and flowers, causing the air about to emanate fragrance. Luo Feng landed amongst the crowd and walked towards 1U tower. Just who is it? Luo Feng sniffed the flowers and walked towards the entrance, suddenly stopping. In the distance. At the entrance of 1U tower, beside the beautiful flowers stood a pretty silhouette. She was looking at him. The two of them faced each other at the entrance of 1U tower. Yuxiang Mountain Common Region, 1U tower's 9th level. Sitting beside the railing, with a glance one could see the distant mountains and spring water. Then the Virtual Universe Company, seeing how well the Ping Hai Company was doing with its great growth and its huge scale, hence they bought the firm. Also, back then they were prepared to offer only 6 times. Su Xian sat at the other end of the table, explaining to Luo Feng how she became a core member of the Virtual Universe Company. Our company's capital increased 10-fold in a short while. That was very dangerous back then. Luckily your younger brother Luo Hua got his people to help circulate the funds. Finally, before you left Primal Chaos City, we reached the goal. Geniuses will make others feel the pressure. Babata's voice resounded in his mind. When they are with other geniuses, they will only see themselves get left further and further behind. No matter how much harder they work, the distance will only grow. Hence, the friends of geniuses are mostly all geniuses. Luo Feng was stunned. Right. Watching her own husband make it in the universe, with his status rising further. Your wife naturally felt happy and proud. However, you were leaving her further and further behind, even to the point of meeting her only once in 10 years. What kind of impact will that have on your wife? Hence. Your wife wanted to get closer to you, stand by your side, and not get left behind. Babata exclaimed. Babata's voice resounded in his mind. Looking at his wife before him who was still speaking, just like that, I became a core member of the Virtual Universe Company. I am capable, right? Su Xian shifted her nose and raised her head proudly, following which she looked embarrassed at Luo Feng. The companies buy over and so on, I never once asked for your opinion. You are not angry, right? You passed all responsibility to me back then to control the company, and even said you were training in Primal Chaos City, with no time to. Silence. Luo Feng extended his arm to hold hers. Su Xian. Luo Feng looked at his wife who was in front of him. Su Xian was stunned. Sorry. Luo Feng said softly. She could hear the guilt and shame in his voice. Su Xian's eyes teared up. Primal Region members Bolin and Long Yun who are heading to the Primal Secret Region, you'll have to follow the knight and leave with him. Wait here for the knight. Absolute Beginning members, you'll head that way. Have a seat in that gray meteorite universe ship. Heaven and Ground members, you'll sit in that second purple ship. Last phase members, you'll take that third largest ship, the black one. Standing in the meeting room was a silver-robed lady. Her voice resounded, simultaneously pointing through the transparent glass at the 3 ships that had just landed. You can leave right now. Rumble. 816 youths stood up together. The 4 secret regions are all in different places. We brothers will only be able to meet in the virtual universe in the future. We'll leave first. Goodbye. Your Majesty Rong Jun, Your Majesty Luo Feng, Your Majesty Qian Shui. That meteorite-looking ship's cabin door opened and a handsome-looking and polite man with blood-red long hair smiled as he welcomed the 8 members of the Absolute Beginning. While entering the ship, Luo Feng turned back to look at the meeting room. It was a pity that from the outside, one couldn't see through the windows of the meeting room. But Luo Feng could feel, within, that someone was looking at him. Bolin, you are my current level's rival. Luo Feng thought, following which he entered. After a while, the 3 F-grade ships, with a rumble, flew and left. Luo Feng. Rong Jun. Long Yun looked on, that heart yearning for victory was burning strong. I will exceed you too, definitely. Dark Universe. A meteorite was swiftly flying, accelerating more and more, 20 times light speed, 21 times. Within the meeting room of the dining hall of the meteorite. Welcome all of you to the Absolute Beginning region. There were 9 undyings at the long table and 8 universe-level youths. The person speaking was a tall and sturdy man with 18 horns and scales all over his face. His entire being emitted a strong and fierce aura. I, Meteorite Emperor, will protect you as you head towards the Absolute Beginning region. Thank you, Meteorite Emperor. Luo Feng, Rong Jun and the rest of the 8 bowed. Meteorite Emperor laughed loudly. The scales on his face creased slightly, making one's heart palpitate. Let me tell you all first, the 4 secret regions are in completely different locations. They are not even in the same universe country. Luo Feng and the rest of them were shocked. The territory of a universe country was incredibly vast. The primal region is the closest to the headquarters. It's in the same universe country as the headquarters. Next is the Absolute Beginning, and then the Heaven and Ground region. The last phase region is the furthest away. Meteorite Emperor's voice was like a metal clashing, booming. The Absolute Beginning region you are headed to is about 1.200 million light-years from the headquarters. 1.200 million light-years. Right now the ship has already reached 50 times light speed. It will travel for about 3 months in the Dark Universe before reaching the Absolute Beginning region. Meteorite Emperor smiled. Let me first introduce the Absolute Beginning region and give you a brief description of it. Luo Feng and the 8 listened intently. The Absolute Beginning region is actually a universe secret region. However, it was simply given the name. Meteorite Emperor exclaimed, our primal universe is the most ancient and incredibly vast universe. It has produced many life forms, trillions of races etc., with countless warriors. During its evolution, many regions and sectors become galaxies, stars, planets etc. The galaxies are the most commonly seen. However, due to unknown special circumstances, during its evolution, it also produced several special sectors that don't follow its regular laws. Meteorite Emperor exclaimed. These special regions will completely challenge your imagination. The life forms and many strange things within these places, treasures and so on will also challenge your imagination. The eyes of Luo Feng and the others gleamed. These special regions have been called universe secret regions. Everyone is different. Meteorite Emperor exclaimed, different universe secret regions will produce different unexplainable treasures, even terrifying disasters. Universe secret areas also have different levels of danger. Even with the safest ones, a few sector lords will die even as they enter. But, most will die while competing and fighting for the treasures within. As for the most dangerous regions, I heard that even a universe country leader wouldn't have much hope of surviving. Meteorite Emperor looked at the shocked faces of the group, smiling. Why, is it shocking? Luo Feng and the 8 were stunned. My God! A newly discovered universe secret region, no one can imagine what goes on inside. Meteorite Emperor exclaimed, it may be a disaster inside, or it could even hold an unbelievable miracle. There are big and small regions. The big ones are comparable to a universe country. Meteorite Emperor emphasized, the small ones can go up to the size of a galaxy. Silence. Luo Feng and the others were completely stunned and silent. Such a huge secret region. Comparable to a universe country. And the primal, absolute beginning, heaven and ground and last phase secret regions that belong to the virtual universe have all been excavated and remodeled, they don't hold any more dangers within. Meteorite Emperor laughed. As universe secret regions have incredibly thick amounts of universe energies within, they are very suitable for training. Universe energies? Luo Feng thought. When the universe energies condense into solid form, they form universe crystals. The absolute beginning region you are headed to is comparable to a starfield. Meteorite Emperor said, living and training in the secret region, the most important and useful thing is the points. Within the company, the points are more effective than gold. Meteorite Emperor's words had indeed filled the youths with anticipation towards the secret regions. However, it was obvious that even the safest of the newly discovered regions required at least a sector lord to enter. Unless it was an already excavated and remodeled one like the absolute beginning region. Time flowed. Days passed and in the blink of an eye, 26 days had passed. We are arriving at the absolute beginning region soon. During my 30 years in Primal Chaos City, I passed 5 levels of the Heavenly Bridge. According to the 10 times reward, my points have reached 30,360. Luo Feng calculated within his resting room. Luckily, I earned more points while in Primal Chaos City, otherwise it'll be hard to acquire them. Right now, they had already left Primal Chaos City. Passing any levels of the Heavenly Bridge wouldn't yield the 10 times reward anymore. Come out. Meteorite Emperor's voice resounded throughout the ship. We've arrived at the absolute beginning region, we'll begin universe travel now. Shwa. Luo Feng stood up, his eyes filled with excitement. They've finally arrived at the absolute beginning secret region. Within the control room of the ship, Luo Feng and the rest of the 8 absolute beginning members were gathered with Meteorite Emperor along with the other Undyings. We'll begin universe travel immediately. Meteorite Emperor laughed loudly, as his voice resounded within the entire control room. Traveling to the absolute beginning region is different than traveling to any other normal star fields. Ah! Luo Feng and the others were curious. You'll know in a moment. Meteorite Emperor had just ended his speech and a cold mechanic voice resounded throughout the control room, beginning universe travel, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 3, 2, 1. Immediately the ship shook and within a second it returned back to normal. Travel complete. External simulation. Meteorite Emperor shouted. Immediately the surrounding scenery changed, allowing Luo Feng and the others to see the scenery outside. My God! Ah! How is it? Meteorite Emperor laughed. It's too unbelievable. Luo Feng looked outside. It was shrouded in thick mist. In the distance there were colorful clouds, and one could even occasionally see large meteorites. It's actually... How is this possible? Not right. Wuka shouted. This is the inside of the absolute beginning region. Meteorite Emperor smiled. The scales on his face creased. Right, this is already a core district of the absolute beginning secret region. Then, what happens if we want to leave the region? Wuka pointed outside. Look at the meteorites outside. There are dust clouds around and there's no space for a ship to even accelerate. To engage in universe travel requires a ship to accelerate to light speed, that's the only way to do it. Luo Feng nodded, right. Universe travel to the absolute beginning region was easy, but what about leaving? You are right. Meteorite Emperor nodded and smiled. The absolute beginning has a diameter of about 5 million light-years, which is similar to a star field. In normal space, we can accelerate to light speed, however, a universe secret area is different, as there are special fire flows, cold flows, astral winds, and also cosmic dusts, making the resistance against ships extremely large. It's almost impossible to accelerate to light speed. Meteorite Emperor said. Universe travel had high requirements. One had to accelerate to light speed. However, in the secret area, it was almost impossible. Right, within the universe secret regions, it's normally impossible to engage in universe travel. Meteorite Emperor nodded. However, the absolute beginning is different. It's been excavated and remodeled. Within this secret region, there are certain territories that have been swept by the absolute warriors, making enough space there for a universe ship to accelerate. Ah! Luo Feng, Rong Jun, Qian Shui, Wuka, Ai Chen and the others were shocked. Swept enough to let a universe ship accelerate to light speed. Just how big of a space did they have to clear out? There's no way around it. The absolute beginning region is too huge. If they didn't do so, we would have to fly slowly from the outer perimeter. With the greatest 5 million light-years distance to calculate, we'd have to fly 5 million years. Not traveling straight to the core won't do. Meteorite Emperor laughed. When you return, you will all be given a star map. This is a map of the territories within the entire region. With the help of this map, you'll know how to enter and exit the absolute beginning region. Universe ship, it was flying within the absolute beginning region. I need to send each of you to each of your living quarters. Meteorite Emperor laughed in the control room. It requires about 3 days of time before I can send every single one of you. Luo Feng and the others remained silent. To reach the living quarters for the 8 of them required 3 days of flying in the universe ship. Rong Jun, we've arrived at yours. Meteorite Emperor shouted. Simultaneously through the external simulation everyone could clearly see the space outside shrouded in thick heavy mist, and there was a beautiful little continent floating. As they drew closer, that continent got bigger, finally the ship landed on it. The cabin door opened. Go out and take a look. Meteorite Emperor laughed and shouted. There's a continent in this space. It feels too good. How big is this continent? Luo Feng and the others looked around. This floating continent was extremely huge, it was at least beyond what their eyesight could perceive. Rumble. Rong Jun surveyed his surroundings. This continent was lush with vegetation and many forms of plants. Absolute beginning region, the universe energies are incredibly thick. Meteorite Emperor pointed at the mist around them. Look, this mist all around you can form little crystals filled with universe energies. With that, Meteorite Emperor grabbed the air and a large amount of the mist swiftly compressed, forming a large crystal. Universe crystal. Luo Feng, Ai Chen and Rong Jun couldn't help but shout out. Right, universe crystal. Meteorite Emperor laughed. The limitless mist, when gathered, will form universe crystals. As the universe energies are too thick, training in the absolute beginning secret region will allow one to feel the ripples of the universe energies clearer. It's extremely beneficial to one's training. Who? From the distance, 10 silhouettes flew over. Your Majesty. 10 armored universe soldiers landed in an orderly fashion. They were led by a sector lord, they all shouted respectfully together. Everybody else up on the ship, we are heading to Wukka's quarters next. Meteorite Emperor shouted. Rong Jun, see you later. Rong Jun, we'll leave first. Luo Feng and the others waved and entered the ship once again. The ship took off and flew once more. Each of the members were being sent to their own quarters and Luo Feng was the fifth to arrive at his. Star Fragment 803898081. Luo Feng muttered while walking on the continent. Its diameter is 6,200 kilometers. According to what Meteorite Emperor said, this star fragment was split by absolute warriors from the Virtual Universe Company, creating many star fragment bases. What thick universe energies! Luo Feng waved his hand to feel the mist, he couldn't help but exclaim. If he wanted universe crystals, he could create it any time he wished. Naturally, if normal citizens from normal planets saw this, they would go crazy. Universe dollars, to the normal folk of the universe, was still a very expensive currency. Luo Feng looked up. In the distance 10 silhouettes flew over. Leading them was a bald old man, it was the leader of Luo Feng's guards Ao Duo Li Ku Wen Shen Lai Suo. Your Majesty. The 10 bowed respectfully. Luo Feng smiled, Ao Duo, we've finally met in reality. I've been looking forward to this day too. The bald old man smiled. Your Majesty, I'll lead the way. After a while. Your Majesty. Ao Duo smiled. I'll do the introductions. Who? Following which Ao Duo immediately flew up and Luo Feng followed. The two of them flew tens of thousands of meters above the ground. From this height we can barely see the edge of the star fragment. Luo Feng looked down and surveyed below. Ao Duo only looked ahead, Your Majesty, look that way. Luo Feng glanced and was shocked. In the faraway distance, there was a dark blue planet. Even the extremely thick mist couldn't block its glimmer. That's an extra-large planet. Ao Duo exclaimed. It has a diameter of 1.28 million kilometers. The strange thing is that it's extremely cold. Our star fragment revolves around this ice planet constantly and there are a total of over 3,000 star fragments that revolve around this ice planet and almost all of them have absolute beginning members. Ah! Luo Feng felt a sense of how unbelievable it was. Diameter of 1.28 million kilometers. It was close to the size of the stars in the solar system, however it was a huge ice planet and it glimmered. How peculiar. The Virtual Universe Company ordered a long time ago that before one reaches undying, he is forbidden from entering the ice planet. It's almost certain that any sector lords who enter it will die. Ao Duo exclaimed. An ice planet that glimmers, and also capable of killing sector lords, it's much stronger than a normal star. Universe secret regions, they are indeed mysterious. Many of them don't even follow common knowledge. Luo Feng shook his head. Actually, a place that had such thick universe energies that one could easily form universe crystals, spread throughout the entire starfield. For such a place to exist, nothing weird from it would be shocking. This, Luo Feng surveyed below. Amidst the thick mist, a large star fragment floated. Is my future training spot, let's go down. So. Luo Feng and Ao Duo rushed downwards.